Hello and welcome to another Let's Play Planet Zoo. My name is Chris, and this is episode 30 of Perseid Zoo. Forgot the name of the zoo there for a second. That's a little embarrassing. That's what happens when you don't release an episode for a week. But anyway, we are looking at where the observation platform used to be for our Savannah exhibit. Instead, I have moved the observation platform off to kind of a nowhere part of the zoo over there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I might use it in a different building or change it altogether. I don't know. But I was not really in love with the shape of the building. I like this bird weave that I'm doing, so I'll probably consider using that somewhere else, or bird nest weave is what I'm calling it. And I like the entrance ramp of the building, so I did keep that. But I just didn't like the shape of the building. I didn't feel like it was... I didn't feel like it flowed very well. You just got up there and there was like a big mess of people, a big mess of just a large platform up here. And you kind of saw that in the last episode, especially when our elephant escaping was running amok up there. Is that there were just a ton of just a mob of people. It didn't look very good in my opinion. So instead, what we've got is we've got the same ramp that brings you. Let me actually get down here so we can see it from the full effect. So we've got the same kind of style that we had before. So we're going to come up the ramp. We're going to come to a large area, and then we will have our observation platforms out here. So this will be kind of a walled in. I'm thinking it's going to be like either like an information area and then like a little eatery over here, but the main observation platform will be outside the building and along these kind of more organic looking paths that kind of like snake around will eventually be the full side of the building. So I'm trying to do a little bit more along the lines of like the mud roof. I know I'm kind of trying to do a modern design for the most part of the zoo, but I'm trying to do a little bit of modern and traditional elements in here. Don't really have a whole lot in mind yet. I'll probably look at the internet here and try to figure out what's what and see what ideas I can come up with. So I'll be right back, and hopefully we'll have a skeleton of a building. Alright, so we've got the shell of the building here laid out. Obviously it's a lot different than the original design that we had, still back there in the corner. It definitely looks a lot more traditional in its build elements here. We've got the mud huts with the thatch roofs, but inside it's a little bit more along the lines of modern. We got this shiny floor here. We've got this modern looking kind of trim piece, which I'm actually going to work all the way around the top of the building here. I've also moved the restaurant feature outside the building, so I imagine this will be a little bit more like a outdoor seating area, like pavilion style, where you can also sit kind of over here and look into the interior of the zoo. Eventually that middle section over there will be more like guest facilities, administration facilities, that sort of thing. So we're getting there. This is just the outside, skeleton of the building. Eventually we'll continue around. We will have some kind of landscaping around here. I'm going to obviously add a wall here that I've taken away. Probably rework our staff buildings and facilities out over there as well. So yep, got a lot of work ahead of us, so we're gonna check it out. Alright, so we've done a little more work to the, is this the north side? Yes. Wait, that's the north. It's the south side of the building here. Getting all turned around in my zoo. Again, this is what happens when you don't play for a week. Oh, important alerts. Let's just close that out. Probably all the animals escaping, because I still haven't fixed the wall. But anyway, So we've got the toilet facilities here, kind of built off. We've got a new building kind of around them. Reworked the paths just a little bit, so now we've got room for our garden beds here. I'll eventually have a little staircase that comes out from where these toilet blocks are. And again, still have to put the staircase down over here, but it's a little bit more fleshed out. Interior is still relatively the same. It was mostly just working on these paths that were becoming a pain in the butt. Trying to swing these paths all the way around was not fun. So yeah. But we've got our garden beds laid out. We've got our new building over here. Basically, our toilet block is finished here. I'll probably add a little bit more details in there, just to kind of round it off. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the last video or the last one, but I added a little bit of a kind of trim piece down here, so these are actually too wide. Finish the trim up along the top. Probably gonna do a little bit more detail work on the roof, but it's getting there. It's getting close. Well, actually, it's not getting close at all. We still have a ton of more work to do, but but yeah, it's getting there. So probably here in the next one we'll build the fence off, because I keep having to, like this guy over here, I keep having to throw animals back into the exhibit because they keep escaping. So we'll build our fence here in a second, and well, it'll be a second for you, and for me it'll be, I don't know, a day or two. All right, so we got the fence built here, and honestly I don't really like it. I like the idea of it, but if you look this way, it is very flat and boring. So I'll probably tweak that, put a couple little curves in, maybe make this more of like a I know everyone's escaping, it's fine. all these important alerts. Oh, that might be a problem. I've got antelope scaling the grass to get out. I might have to fix that. But anyway, so I like the design of the fence, like right here, like this. Oh, that looks good. I like that. That looks really nice. But when you look, like if you're coming down a pathway, I mean, that just looks boring. So instead of what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to have these kind of curve around a little bit, and then maybe put little hide holes, kind of similar. Let me actually go to the one that we have, similar to what we did over here for the warthogs. So you'll have kind of curves in the path that come down, and then when it actually gets up next to where the true fence is, which you can see it here, it's actually just a concrete barrier colored green, so it kind of blends in a little bit more with the grass, but you can kind of see it behind there. So when the path comes out, swings around, and then starts touching the true habitat barrier, I'll put a little hole in it with the one-way glass, and that'll be kind of like a little peek hole that you can like peek through the glass, through the grass, and you get this kind of like you know, like Savannah hide looking, you know, view from the ground. So at least that's the thought anyway. Again, mostly just to get rid of this straight line of almost like I don't know. I mean, it looks pretty. Like I like this. This looks really pretty. But again, looking all the way down, it's like that's just boring. There's no organic nature to it. It's just a straight line. So I think I'll fix that maybe in a little bit. I don't know. It was a lot of work to make this fence, so I think I'll let it sit for a while and just landscape around the building instead. So We'll start landscaping around the building. That sounds like a better idea than destroying the fence. That took so long to build. Alright. Plants, we have our grasses, and then we have the, what is this guy called? The King something. King Protea. So we've got the King Protea, we've got the African daisies, and those are our main palette. The grasses, King Protea, and African daisies. So I put a couple trees in just to kind of add something interesting in each one of these little beds. So we've got, excuse me, we got this bed here, which is kind of a little tree tucked into the between the roofs there in those two buildings. We've got another larger tree, and then we actually have a little bit of art pieces, these little air plants. I actually liked how this tree kind of sat like almost perfectly with like its branches just kind of following the ridge line of the roof there. Just kind of lucked into that, actually. Again, got a couple other little art pieces here. This is actually the, I believe it's the gorilla torso. Gorilla back. And then a African kiln just kind of set down there to make a little abstract looking sculpture thing. Got the paths here finished, at least connected to the main building. I'll have to do some actual custom path work here in a little bit to kind of blend the transition between the building and the outside area here. Again, kind of just going around. We got some more little art pieces here. Got a floating trim piece up there. And then we kind of come up all the way around here. We walk up this little platform, and we're in our little outside diner area. Haven't quite finished it off yet. The paths are all connected, so it should all work. I'm going to plop down some benches out here. Going to kind of detail it a little bit more in here. But that's about all I'm going to have time for in this episode. So, oh, one last thing. I did move the keeper hut and the staff building underground here, and I also moved the habitat gate. So hopefully those work. I haven't tested them yet. I haven't actually unpaused the game. If you look up here, I've got like 80 notifications. That's because all my animals escaped when I deleted the habitat gate. So I don't really feel like unpausing it just yet and dealing with that. So we're getting there. We still got quite a lot more detailed work to do. Like I said, that'll be it for this episode. We'll have a part 2 where we kind of wrap everything up. Hopefully next week. Or it'll be a little bit later, I'm not sure. Depending on schedules. But but yeah, we're getting there. I'm definitely liking how this building is. It feels a little bit more like it fits out here. Again, I like the other building that I was working on, but I like this building a whole lot more. So we'll use elements from the other building, I think, in the outside balcony here. But we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you all next time. See ya.